Are you struggling to register a car in Europe as a foreigner without residency? Well, so will we. We've been through this process twice now, so we're going to walk you through the pros and cons to each option that we have explored or used. Now let's jump inside and get started.
So number one is Andorra. We registered our first camper van in Andorra back in 2019. Andorra is not in the EU and it has a tourist plate that allows foreigners to register a vehicle to. This option worked great for us back in 2019, but we know since then they've put on new restrictions and requirements for foreigners to do this. From our understanding, the vehicle has to be no older than 2016 and it also has to have an emissions of Euro 6. If it's a Euro 5, they won't accept it and they won't register your car there. They also put in restrictions on self-built motorhomes, so now you cannot do that. It has to be a purpose-built motorhome, meaning you have to buy it from a dealer or a manufacturer. If you buy a vehicle from outside of Andorra, you'll have to import it into Andorra. This comes with its own set of fees and paperwork that can become real messy if it's not in order. So if you do this option, do make sure that all your paperwork is in order. If you choose to sell your vehicle down the track, it can become a bit problematic, as you can't sell it to anyone else who wants to continue on with empty plates. It has to be to an Andorran resident. Also, if you are selling it to someone from inside the EU, this means they'll have to import it back into the EU, which will add on another 10 to 30% tax depending on which country you're importing it to. That in itself is a big cost for someone who's going to buy your vehicle that they have to bear, which is a big extra expense, so you might have to sell your car for less to cover that cost. It's definitely an option, but it does come with its fair share of drawbacks and hassles, so do make sure you do your research properly before considering this option.
The second option is France, and this was the option that we looked at first this time round. In France, in order to register a camper van as a foreigner, you need to set up a French company. The camper van is then classed as property as it is your home. All seemed okay with this option for us until we found out the price. We were told in the end that it would be around 5,000 euros all up and nothing was guaranteed, meaning that it was not 100% going to work out. We also think this option is probably easier if you buy a brand new motorhome in France or a car that is already registered in France to do this. Since we bought our empty van in Germany on 6 months export plates and we're going to convert the van before we had the technical change done in Germany and then move the van over to France, it just seemed way too complicated. So we ruled this option out. And for younger people also on a budget, 5,000 euros to get your company set up initially up front is a lot of money.
So number three is Germany. Now, Germany was never really on our radar. We knew it was possible to register a car in Germany using someone else's address. This person has to live at the location and becomes an authorized, responsible person for the vehicle registration, meaning they collect all the taxes and mail and paperwork and then forward it on to you. So this could be a friend or a family member that you trust. Unfortunately for us, we didn't really have anyone that we wanted to put that responsibility onto, so we chose not to go with this option. So in Germany, you need a residential address for about 12 months or so to really get anything done. If you need anything shorter than that, you can just get export plates for a maximum of 12 months and then the car can be resold in Germany or anywhere else in Europe and it's not a problem. Also, when you're on the export plates, you don't have to be a resident of Germany or anywhere else in Europe. You can live in Australia and you choose to register your car to your address in Australia, basically. So with the export plates, they do expire after the period of time that you insured it for. So this could be 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, and it only comes with third-party insurance. You can get full comprehensive insurance, but it's unlikely to be in Germany. You'll have to get the insurance from some other country like America or Australia maybe has an option. We chose to go with an American company that provided full comprehensive insurance for a van, not a motorhome. So also with that full comprehensive insurance, so whatever address you put down with that insurance company is where you're meant to be living and residing, meaning you're not traveling around Europe having the best time of your life. You're meant to be living at that address, wherever it may be. So after some time, we decided to go with the Bulgarian option, which we'll get to in just a second. The process didn't go as planned and time was ticking and we were really running out of options. We were getting really stressed that we weren't going to be able to register our vehicle anywhere in Europe when a company from Germany called CarTurf reached out to us. Marcus had found us on YouTube and seen that we were foreigners navigating how to register our vehicle in the EU. Marcus founded the company CarTurf to make this whole process for foreigners like us a lot easier and more simple. After back and forth emailing for a few weeks, we decided to have a video chat with Marcus as our Bulgaria option was really going nowhere. What Marcus was offering was an address in Germany, which is exactly what we foreigners need to register a vehicle in Germany. CarTurf offers a few different plans, but can basically organise to register a car, buy a car, insure a car, even before you're in the EU. We didn't need the entire service as we had already bought our car, but with authorisation from us, we allowed him to register the car on our behalf. We are still the owners of the vehicle while CarTurf is officially the holder. KarTurf will then organise all the paperwork, insurance, registration, anything that comes in the mail to do with the vehicle, they'll all handle and then forward on to you. The only thing you have to do is every 2 years make your way back to Germany for a TÜV inspection, which is basically a safety check on the vehicle. So this was a real lifesaver for us. As soon as we got the ball rolling and said, yes, we agree, we're going to do it, this option took no longer than 2 weeks to get the plates back and registration all sorted for us. The whole process can happen very fast if needed, and Marcus is really good on the emails and the phones. If you have any questions, he'll be great at getting back to you very fast. If you want more information about KarTurf, we'll leave a link in the description for you to check out later.
So the final option is Bulgaria. Bulgaria was the decision we came to this time after exploring the option in France became too expensive. We knew it was doable in Bulgaria because we know others that have done it. We contacted a lawyer who explained all the process to us and the costs, and we were happy to go down that path. In Bulgaria, from what we know, the process is similar to that in France. In Bulgaria, you open the company and then you register the car under the company's name. The cost was approximately 800 euros to open a company in Bulgaria, and from what we know, a small portion of that fee goes towards adding value to the company. The company does not need to operate, and there are no extra fees associated with it. We did this process a little differently to the people that we know that have been down this Bulgarian registration path. The vehicle needs to be registered and purchased in the Bulgarian company's name. We already had our vehicle before we opened the company in Bulgaria. This isn't a huge deal, as we needed to go to the German registry to change our vehicle from a van to a motorhome in the end anyway. The issue that arose with our Bulgarian plans, and is still ongoing, is that we had all paperwork notarized and apostilled in another EU country. The Bulgarian lawyer never explained to us that this would be an issue, and he just explained to us what we needed to do and to send the paperwork back to him. Now, 2 months on from sending the documents back to the Bulgarian lawyer, it is still going through court, apparently due to the reason that the paperwork was filled and approved in a different country. The Bulgarian lawyer tells us that he can't tell us exactly when the Bulgarian courts will approve it, and he now tells us that he's never done it this way before. If we'd known this before, we would have just flown to Bulgaria and done it all in person. The lawyer had great reviews online, and we really don't understand why he didn't advise us on doing it this way. Too much time was wasted on waiting for this approval, so we did not go ahead with the Bulgarian option at this time. This process really turned into a hassle. You must also drive the vehicle to Bulgaria to complete the registration process, and then drive to Bulgaria yearly to complete the inspections. This was again very time consuming. If we had our time again, we would definitely go down the more traditional way of trying to open a Bulgarian company, and maybe we would have had success and a lot quicker. Maybe another lawyer would have also made this process smoother, but who knows.
So we do know there are other buyback options you can also go with in the Netherlands, but we never really looked at this because it seemed to be more of a short-term option. So the different options will work better for different people depending on your individual situation. But from our experience, if you want an easy and straightforward option where you don't have to jump through a lot of hoops, KarTurf in Germany is the quickest and easiest way to get this done. KarTurf is dedicated to solving the problem for non-residents to register a car in the EU, and you don't have to waste time setting up a company. KarTurf is also working towards getting a list of approved inspection places outside of Germany to get your car's TÜV done every 2 years, that being your car's safety inspection. This means that for travellers, you don't have to go back to Germany to get your safety inspection done. You could just stay in Spain in the sun.
We hope you found this video useful. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.